to go over.
Yeah, we're definitely going to give it a few minutes. We're still early, but what's up, everyone? Jen, if you want to hop up as a speaker, sent you an invite.
Hey, hey. What's up, guys? It's going to be busy.
Blue should be coming around on the xSurge account soon as well. Just going to wait for him to pop in here.
I see your request, guys. We're going to bring people up for questions at the end. We won't be long. We're just going to go over some announcements. Wait for a few more people to come in. If you could, please tweet out the space. Get some more people in here, and then we'll start going over everything. Tell them if you want to hop up. Just sent you an invite. We're waiting for our friend Blue. We're not sure if he's going to be here on time. He's going to be running from the xSurge account. Might have just started a little bit early. We can still wait a few more minutes, I guess, though.
Yeah, Blue had to run into work, but he should be joining us soon.
It did just go to 8. We could wait another minute.
Yeah, if he's not here in another minute, we're just going to start. But yeah, let's just see what happens. All right, so I don't know if Blue's going to be here in time, but we'll bring him up if we see him. We're just going to get this started off. What's up, everybody? It's another space. We're going to try to do these a little bit more often, but I know we just had one last week where we went over xUSD, and this might seem a little repetitive, but we did make a few pretty important changes to how the launch is going to roll out, and specifically some of the utility that xUSD will be able to provide down the road as well. So I'm excited to share these changes with you. This space won't be as long as the other ones, unless we have a lot of questions. It's definitely going to open up to a community discussion afterwards, because definitely want to hear your thoughts on all of this. I'm pretty excited about it though. But I have up here with me Moon Matt. A lot of you guys know him. He's a good buddy of mine. And I got Jen, CEO of Vault, another good friend of mine. Yeah, so it's a small space here tonight, but we'll make do with what we got. So to get things started off, you might have seen it in the title. There is no longer going to be a pre-sale for xUSD. And I know that might sound sad to some of you, because some of you might have been excited in the benefits that the pre-sale offered, such as the ability to buy xUSD tax-free. But the good thing is, this ability isn't going to go away. Just because we're not having a pre-sale doesn't mean that you won't be able to obtain xUSD tax-free. It's just now a much more decentralized and healthy way to go about doing this tax exemption. So there's a few reasons why, but I'm just going to get into the changes first. So originally we had a pre-sale structure where we were going to let 400 different wallets purchase up to $25,000 of xUSD tax-free in exchange for 0.3 BNB per wallet. And we were going to use the BNB received to make a liquidity pool on PancakeSwap so that we could, one, get listed on CoinMarketCap, two, have a nice chart on PooCoin, and three, start the first trial of arbitrage and market volatility with xUSD. Because anytime the price of BNB were to go up or down by 0.5%, the price of xUSD would go up. So that was the original thought, and a pre-sale was the best thing that we could think of off the top of our heads as to how to start this initial pool. But pre-sales really aren't Surge. We've never done a pre-sale for Surge, and the reason is it's not what Surge is meant for. Surge is supposed to be a truly decentralized and community-driven project. So having a pre-sale didn't sit right with me, and thinking of giving away all of this tax-free xUSD before launch also didn't sit right with me, because that would just inflate the total supply so large, and it would be a pretty boring launch if all of those 400 slots were to buy all of that xUSD tax-free. So we changed it up, and we're doing things a little bit differently. And when I was trying to think of how do we do things differently that give people more incentives, more things that they can do, and help provide better health of the token overall. And what we finally decided on were yield farms, and specifically an xUSD yield farm. Now, there might be some of you in the space that have been in DeFi for a while and are familiar with yield farms, but it is a pretty big sector of DeFi. And the gist of it is, traditionally there are liquidity pools that give you kickbacks and give you rewards for providing liquidity. That's a known thing. What yield farming is it's a way to step that up a notch and get further incentivized for staking your liquidity tokens so that people can continue making trades with your provided assets. That's basically what yield farming is in a gist. So here's the basic structure for how it's going to work with Surge. So instead of having a pre-sale or anything like that, on launch, if you wish, you will be able to buy xUSD tax-free, and not just on launch. This goes throughout the whole lifetime of the token. You'll be able to buy xUSD tax-free if your liquidity pool. So if you buy xUSD and pair it into liquidity with BNB on PancakeSwap. So what that means is you're going to buy what it'll do is you'll have the option to buy it normally and get the normal 0.75% buy tax, or buy it through the yield farm, and it will pair liquidity for you and lock up your LP tokens for 3 months. And what that means is you'll provide the liquidity, but you won't be able to take it back out for 3 months. And over the course of those 3 months, you'll have access to the yield farm. And what will happen is there's a transaction tax built into xUSD that was going to be funneled to different means. But now it's going to be primarily pointed at the yield farm. So every time someone makes a buy, a sell, or a transfer with xUSD, a small tax is taken out and allocated to the yield farm. So if you provide your liquidity into xUSD, you'll be able to earn passive xUSD that you can claim every week just for providing liquidity, depending on how much of a pool you've provided. And the cool thing is we're going to be able to take this concept and apply it to a bunch of liquidity pools down the road. We could do this for a Bitcoin pool. We could do this for a Surge pool with different Surge tokens. We could do this for a useless pool or a Vault pool to incentivize people to pair liquidity and use xUSD as an underlying asset instead of BNB, which is kind of what I think the beauty of xUSD is, and what it's really should be used for is an underlying asset. So this kind of makes that possible. So instead of buying it straight up or buying it tax-free straight up, you have to use your BNB halfway. So let's say you put $10,000 into this yield farm when xUSD launches. It'll be split in half. 5,000 of that will be used to buy xUSD tax-free, and the other 5,000 of that will pair with it and add into liquidity. So instead of us creating a liquidity pool and adding in this BNB that we raised from the pre-sale, anyone will be able to add in BNB. And that means we won't have the LP tokens. You guys will have the LP tokens. The whole community will have access to the liquidity and will keep the liquidity going. But this isn't really a worry that if people do not provide liquidity, because Surge has its own internal liquidity pool, and having it on these various dexes, like on PancakeSwap with BNB, just gives us different opportunities to take advantage of price differences. And every transaction on Surge or on xUSD will raise the value of the asset. So the more pools that it's in, the more pairs, the more different tokens that it's paired with, the better it will perform over time. And I ran a good amount of simulations with this, and I'll definitely go over the math behind it with everyone. But an optimal solution for how xUSD looks when it launches is a bunch of people own xUSD, but they don't just hold it. Instead, they provide liquidity for it in these different pools. And here's why. Let's go through a scenario where the price of BNB goes up 5%. All right, so it goes up 5% across all these exchanges. But on PancakeSwap with the xUSD pool, no one's made any transactions, and there's now a 5%. Such as seeing the price, getting on CoinMarketCap, and it's a good first token to pair with is BNB. But by no means is that the end all. Ideally, xUSD is going to be the underlying asset across hundreds of pools, paired with hundreds of different tokens. Being able to eat those transfer fees to correct price imbalances and be an underlying asset. So that's the future of xUSD. And there isn't much ways to incentivize people to pair liquidity nowadays. That's why Surge Dex is coming out. But what yield farming does is it gives an incentive. You can now, just for providing your tokens for other people to swap with, you can earn passive xUSD per day. And in a yield farming sense, that's pretty cool. Traditional yield farms, they'll just, like Compound, for instance, they just mint you more tokens, okay? And these tokens don't have any inherent underlying value to them. They just mint you more and more tokens, and that devalues their token over time because there's just hundreds of tokens, thousands getting thrown to all these different people across all these different pools. With xUSD, it's actually pegged to a stable coin. It's pegged to the US dollar. So it's actually a fairly valuable asset to get as returns for staking liquidity. And I don't know. I think it's going to attract a lot of hardened DeFi members who have experienced yield farming in a sense before, because I believe the risk is hedged greatly in the sense that xUSD isn't volatile. And when it comes to pairing liquidity, one of the main risks involved is volatility, especially in yield farming too. And xUSD really has that valuableness of it being pegged to a stable coin. So that was a lot of stuff I just vomited at you guys. I don't know if Blue or Jen or Talden or Matt or anyone wants to. Oh, Matt's not a. I'm gonna make Matt a co-host again. Whoops. I don't know if any of them want to add on to it.
Booted him. Yeah, no, when you were talking there, anybody
was
like lost you on the mic there for like a couple minutes. Spaces did what it normally does, which is space out for a few minutes.
No.
And I think it kicked me. Oh, there he is. There's Matt. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, you went quiet for about 15 seconds, Mark.
I just kept
right
rambling.
at the good part.
You
was
went
a
over
lot.
Where
did I leave off?
You went over a lot of the critical components of the critical components of the changes that are being implemented. But as far as the yield farming contract, could you just give a brief overview on what exactly that means, what the benefits are for people that decide to yield stake?
Okay, so if you decide to take advantage of this yield farming opportunity and pair your tokens into liquidity so other people can trade them to do whatever they need to do with it, you will be able to claim xUSD passively every week. So not passively, you'll have to actually claim it, but there's going to be tokens allocated and set aside for you every time a transaction is made on xUSD. So depending on how much of the liquidity pool you have provided for, how many tokens you have staked versus everyone else, the larger share of this allocation you'll receive. So if you have provided half the liquidity for the pool on PancakeSwap, if you've provided all that BNB and xUSD, you're going to be able to claim half of all the tokens allocated to that from xUSD transfer fees. And these are fees on buys, sells, and transfers that get allocated here. So it's mutually beneficial in that way. You provide your tokens into liquidity, other people can trade with them and take advantage of arbitrage with them, and it'll further raise the value of xUSD. You'll be able to withdraw that liquidity tax-free after 3 months, or whenever you want. You can hold it in there, and you'll be able to claim xUSD as long as your tokens are locked.
So the great thing about this is you guys don't have to. It's a tax-free investment for where you have the chance to earn a lot more as the price floor continues to rise when you decide to yield farm. If you decide to stake into the liquidity, you're not only boosting the price floor of xUSD, you're also earning more, and you don't pay taxes on it when you decide to pull out after a 90-day hold. We're a long-term hold anyway. That's highly beneficial for the investor over time. You're going to gain a ton of income through volume alone, through the arbitration opportunity, through this new implementation. I mean, it's going to be huge, guys. You guys have a massive chance to earn a killing.
No, yeah, definitely not financial advice. I'm definitely excited to see how it unfolds and how it all unravels. I'm really excited to see how it interacts with not only BNB but all the pools that it's paired with over time, because we really want xUSD to be more valuable than BNB as an underlying asset, because it is. People aren't tied to the volatility of BNB anymore. You wouldn't be. You would have a stable, appreciating underlying asset to base the wealth of your token on. There's going to be 4 ways you can actually stake into these pools. You can just send BNB directly to the yield farm, and it will split it in half by xUSD tax-free with 1/2 and pair the 2 halves into liquidity. You can send it an equal amount of BNB and BUSD, and it'll convert the BUSD into xUSD tax-free and do the same thing. You can send it xUSD that you've already bought in BNB, and it'll do it for you tax-free. And additionally, if you have already just paired the liquidity yourself on PancakeSwap, you can just give it your LP tokens, and it will lock those for you. So there's 4 main ways. A lot of you will probably find the easiest method to be send BNB to it and see what happens. And it'll mint you back these farm tokens, which represent your stake in the overall farm, which is the liquidity. And it's important to know, if you have liquidity that's locked, only the locked liquidity is what gets allocated rewards to. So if you've had your liquidity locked for a long time, you'll be able to continuously gain rewards from it. And as other people unlock liquidity and withdraw their portion, you will get a larger share of the rewards in xUSD. But yeah, that's mostly it. And this is our replacement for the need of a pre-sale. And I'm just very happy with it overall, because I was terrified of what effects a pre-sale might have on Surge. And this really keeps it decentralized and really honestly adds some new ways to play with it and new ways to experiment with it. If this all sounds complex and you've never done staking, you've never done yield farming, I encourage you guys to research about it. And we're going to be releasing some education on the subjects ourselves. It's a great opportunity to learn some stuff about DeFi for sure, but by all means, it's not essential. You can always purchase xUSD this traditional way, and xUSD has an exceptionally low fee that it might just not be worth the hassle and just buy it that way anyway. So there's plenty of options, and there's no need to do one way over another.
Yeah, and guys, we'll have a lot of educational material out there. Most of the educational material is already put together. With the change of the yield farming contract that we're now integrating, I've got to replace that information with the pre-sale, and it's completely all together. We're going to have that in a neat little package to provide to our guy that's going to be putting a video together for us, and that's going to be Random Arts. He's going to put together a video for us, and he'll have something released hopefully within a few days, but I can't make any promises on that. But it will be before deployment, so everybody will know what to do before this new token launches.
Absolutely, yeah. And one of the main pushes that we're trying to do is really upgrade the dApp to make this very intuitive for people, because it might not make sense to some people to put BNB in the yield farm and not get back xUSD. Instead, you get back a locked LP token. So it might be confusing for some. So we really want to make sure it's super intuitive. You can go right on the dApp and it'll tell you what these farm tokens mean, how much you can withdraw, and how much longer you have to wait, your pending rewards, let you claim them, all this stuff. Just make it super easy, all in one place. And we really want to make sure that's nailed out and perfect. So we are pushing back the launch date of xUSD by 3 days. So we're just making it, instead of this Friday, it's going to be a week from today, so November 8th. And the reason being, we had it all set up before with the pre-sale method, but this new change to the yield farming, I think, is very crucial and really sets xUSD up for what it should be, which is an underlying asset token. And allowing people to provide liquidity without worrying about losing money to fees really helps accomplish that. And we really don't want to scare people or freak them out because they don't know how this all works. So we really want to make sure the dApp's perfect. And I don't know if the dApp guys are in here right now, but they specifically asked if they could have a few more days as well. And it gives us a few more days to create educational content for everyone. So it's not a long time. Just a week from today is the new launch of xUSD. And I think that's all the announcements. I think we're good to start bringing some people up and having an open discussion about it.
Let's do it. I got a bunch of requests. I'm going to bring a bunch of people up.
Yeah, I think DeFi General has been here the longest.
I was just going to say, I think you're going to be able to see this on charts too. Am I right?
Yep. No, absolutely. xUSD will be graphable on PooCoin at launch too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we'd potentially be able to buy it too, right? Off Pancake, yeah.
Yeah, if a lot of people pair liquidity using this method, you can buy it right on PancakeSwap. But if there isn't a lot of liquidity, I would urge people to buy the traditional method as well. But we'll see how that all looks. Definitely excited.
Well,
Okay.
I will ask for. Okay, go ahead, Toby.
Oh, I'm just gonna say it also allows us to get on CoinMarketCap. Sorry, I wasn't here at the beginning.
Heck
So I wasn't
yeah.
sure if you announced
No,
that.
we didn't
but
mention it.
Yeah, that'll get xSurge, viewability on there, so that way it's more accessible to people. They can see it and know about it, and it gives us that price on Trust Wallet for xUSD. It's going to be awesome. Great opportunity here.
Yeah, no, having the price on Trust Wallet is definitely very important, and having it on exchanges, having it on CoinMarketCap is definitely crucial, and we're definitely making sure that that's all possible here. I had one other point. Oh yeah, another thing that I wanted to just throw out here as well. There's going to be one slight change to the look and feel of this token. If you've held the other Surge tokens, you would have noticed that there's no decimals. There's no fractional tokens. There's no like 0.1 Surge. It's all single denomination, single digits. There's 1,000 Surge, 100 Surge. 1 Surge is the smallest. With xUSD, there actually will be these denominations. And we're doing that because we're going to start, attempt to start exactly the price of 1 Surge USD, 1 xUSD. We're going to try to start that at exactly 1 BUSD. So hopefully that'll be super easy and straightforward for people to know the value of their tokens, and we'll be able to watch it grow over time, hopefully. All right, General.
All right, so basically what I'm taking away from this right now is xUSD will be charted, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah. It'll definitely be chartable on KuCoin and several
that's it. I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing, General. Honestly, this is what I think a lot of people in DeFi have been waiting for. This is an appreciating stablecoin, and not just any stablecoin. Like, this is paired to the US dollar. This is a game changer, people.
Yeah, super excited, and I'm really excited to see how yield farming will work in with a stablecoin, because I don't believe that's done normally. I've never seen a yield farm.
I've never seen
reward a stablecoin. Usually, they just have their parent token that they mint you. But being able to actually get rewarded in an appreciating stablecoin is really exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Hey everyone.
Hold up. But what I was going to say real quick. I was going to say for the guest speakers, let's if you can, you should be on your phone. You should be able to throw your hand up, a little emoji. I was thinking we get a little order going. We've had trouble with that in the past. I think we had QR first, and then we'll go to Corey, if that's okay.
Yeah, and then oranges. All right, Corey. Or QR, sorry.
All right, good night. Hi everyone. I have a few questions. For first about the volume for Surge. As of now, the projects I don't see a lot of volume, and I just wanted to ask about the marketing. If you guys are planning to let's say bring Surge to major audiences like websites, so people can attract more people like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, or whatever. um, that is one of the questions I have. Also about the yield farming, i'm I'm not sure about the liquidity, like okay, the thing I want to ask is if it's gonna be, if people can rock. Let's say I put 1,000 BUSD as liquidity, and if it will have, if I take it all out, if it will have the same effect like a rock pool. Like how does that, the the taking away of liquidity, how does that affect the price, or how does that affect the the um the price of BUSD? Yeah.
So there's going to be a bunch of different people staking their own liquidity. But even if everyone were to withdraw all at once, it wouldn't actually change the price of xUSD. If everyone pulled out liquidity at once, you just couldn't buy it on PancakeSwap, I guess. But you could always buy and sell through the token itself traditionally, by sending BNB to it, staking BUSD into it, or calling the sell function. So all that functionality will still be there. So even if there's no liquidity on PancakeSwap, you'll always be able to use your Surge tokens just like they are already, just like they already exist. And to answer your other question as well, this token is definitely having a much bigger effect for marketing pushes because we're going to be able to actually list this on exchanges and get this onto CoinMarketCap. So I'm definitely very excited to see how it debuts in that kind of a sense. And addressing the volume of the other Surge tokens, I've said this a few times. Surge tokens by themselves are cool. You can buy them, you can sell them, you can send them to a friend, but ultimately there needs to be more. There needs to be abilities to trade between them to reflect people's market sentiments. Not always do people want to lose an entire selfie to switch assets, an entire 6% selfie to be exact for the other surges. So having xUSD, being able to pair them all on PancakeSwap will allow for hopefully more volume as people will be able to move on to and off of Surge through Surge tokens and specifically take advantage of opportunities when the price of one of the underlying assets were to go up or down dramatically.
All right. I am happy to hear that, and also I am looking forward for the DEX, and also is if it's possible, if we can see on the DEX, if you know how the amount that is paired in liquidity per token or per asset would be awesome. Let's say $1,000 is locked for liquidity for BUSD, or 1,000 is locked for ADA, or I mean search ADA, or etc.
Yeah, definitely. Those figures will be important, especially with the yield farming aspect, because people want to be able to know what percentage of the overall taxation they'll be able to claim and how much they'll actually be able to withdraw weekly. So that data should be there, not necessarily on the DEX, although it will also be on the DEX because that's important stuff. But that'll also just be on the V2 version of our Surge app. That's having some really good progress already. It's a lot cleaner, a lot less cluttered, a lot simpler view for everyone with little widgets you can switch on and off. I can't wait for that to be released. But yeah, thank you, QR. Those are great questions.
And
All
that's a
right.
great idea. That's a very good idea to know exactly how much has been staked in the liquidity, to show that information. Thank you for bringing that up. I wasn't sure if the dApp team had actually thought to integrate that, but if not, it will be integrated now because that's a excellent recommendation.
It'll be vital for yield farming data to know that. So I believe it is on their roadmap. Well, I hope so.
Thank
But
you.
yeah,
I
sorry,
just
what?
have one quick question. I don't know if I can ask John this question real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, Actually, it is regarding to the Vault tokens. Seeing the burn rate of the Vault tokens, like they are burning very quickly, and the volume for those tokens aren't that high as well. So I don't um, I wanted to know your perspective of that, if it isn't a bad thing that the tokens are burning really fast with not so much volume.
That we're gonna keep this mostly for xUSD, but that's just kind of how those contracts are written. It has burn allocations for buying and selling, so large sell downs will actually burn quite a few tokens. But yeah, thank you, QR, for coming up. Corey, I believe, was next, right?
Yes. Hey guys, how's it going? Quick question. So for the staking, is it going to be BNB paired to xUSD, or is it going to be BUSD paired to xUSD?
It will be BNB, at least for this first version 1 pool that's coming out on launch.
Okay, that's good that I know. So let me ask you this. So BNB is kind of really high right now. So if that drops down to back to the 300s, do you guys have anything in place to deal with the impermanent loss of the farm?
Well, no, BNB will have its volatility, of course, as it does in every liquidity pool that it's in. So we there's definitely that that possibility of BNB being very volatile in that instance. For sure, yeah, that's always an assumed risk with providing any form of liquidity there. In terms of mitigation, the mitigation would be the dividends you receive in the form of income. Now, I'm not saying in the event of BNB going back down to 300 that it would fully mitigate that, but having these extra kickbacks definitely helps mitigate the effect of impermanent loss, which is why yield farms in general are relatively successful.
Absolutely. I'm in a few yield farms myself. What do you guys think the APR is going to be starting out?
Honestly, yeah, that's one of the main things I'm excited to see, because that depends entirely on transaction volume. So it'll be really interesting, because the more pools xUSD is in, the more base transaction volume it'll have, because you could assume an inherent volatility in crypto, and even if nobody makes swaps except for volatility, you could almost create like an estimate of what it would be. And the more pools it's in, and the more xUSD in those pools, the higher the APR would be. So I'm really excited to actually like graph out that data and get an exact, well, not an exact number, but an estimated number.
That sounds awesome. I appreciate it. Also, I don't know where to find any info on this token. Do you guys have a website for this or anything?
xsurge.net is our main website that encompasses all of the Surge tokens. xUSD is the newest form of it, and it's going to be the backbone for the Surge DEX. And I don't know if all of this information is on the website currently, but the version 2 of the website is coming out very soon, and that should have a lot more information on all of this.
Okay, cool. And the xUSD you said is going to be paired to 1-for-1, just for $1?
It's going to start at that price, but I'm not sure if you followed the Surge ecosystem at all. But the way it works is every buy, sell, and transfer actually raises the value of the xUSD compared to its underlying asset. So it'll start at $1, but it'll always grow from that point, and it'll never fall below the price that it is at any point in time.
Wow, awesome! I'm excited. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey,
I also just threw the link to the website up top.
Yeah, so not only that, but across platforms, we post a lot of educational information, especially on Reddit. I run the Twitter for xSurge, and it's the educational material I post out there very frequently. If you ever ask me a question in the comments, or if you DM me through this profile, I'll send you whatever you want to know. You can do that through our Discord. You can contact our moderators, and if they don't know the answer, they'll contact me or Talden, and we'll be able to provide them with the information that you're looking for. But we will always be able to answer your questions as well. There is a lot of information on the webpage. But like Mark said, we're still in the process of V2 coming out with an educational segment built into the webpage to be able to provide all this information right off the website. But a lot of the info isn't there yet. But like I said, if you contact us, we will be able to get you the information you're looking for. If it has anything to do with any Surge variants, xUSD, we don't have anything out just yet publicly for educational information. But like I said earlier, that is in the works.
Yeah, definitely. This will be a cool token. But yeah, thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
All right, Oranges. I think you were up next.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, most of my questions have already been answered. I jumped in early, stuck my hand up. It sounds great. I'm really looking forward to it all. The main ones I was really looking for was the launch date, which you already put in. Pushed it back to my birthday, which has made it even more exciting for me.
Awesome.
Well, and
happy almost birthday.
The other one, it'll just be a standard traditional launch. Will be traditional as in how we've done all the other Surge launches.
Yes. This one will definitely be traditional. The contract address will be released slightly ahead of time.
Yep.
Which is good, so everyone will be ready and prepared. It'll probably the token will probably launch before the Pancake Swap pairing goes live. So purchase.
Yep.
I would recommend if you're purchasing on launch, I would do it through the token itself and not wait for Pancake Swap. Just until it finalizes a little bit and gets that initial push off, so that we can pair that off into Pancake Swap. But ultimately, that ultimately it depends on how many people utilize the tax-free buying method of staking liquidity. So as Corey pointed out before, there is always the risk of the BNB value going down, because when you provide liquidity, you're not just providing one token, you're providing two. So you wouldn't just be providing xUSD, you would be providing half xUSD and half BNB. So in the event of BNB crashing abysmally, there is that inherent risk as well. So that was very good to point out, and I wanted to definitely reiterate that.
Yeah, playing around with BNB is sort of the risk we take at times.
Yeah, so we definitely are trying to steal BNB's spotlight a little bit as an underlying asset. So, but first we got to play by their rules. We gotta get our price recognized on BSC Scan, on Trust Wallet, on CoinMarketCap, and then we can start taking over as the underlying asset. Otherwise, it would be kind of boring to list with xUSD if there was no price to it, because no one would know the price of your token. No one would know anything. So we really want to get that price on there, get that price known and stabilized, which is why pairing it and getting it into these exchanges is pretty important. And that's when everyone knows the price of it and it's known by the whole blockchain. That's when it'll be really easy to start using it as an underlying asset itself.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. Or you pass it on to the next one now. Thanks for that.
Nice to hear what you finally sound like in person, 777.
Yeah, I brought up the courage to start talking a bit more now.
Oh my God, he sounds like Keith Urban.
That's it. I'll tell you what a knife is.
Oh, dude, you're awesome.
Oh yeah, anyway. Great to hear from you as always, 777.
Yeah, and he's one of our. We just bought him out to help with the Twitter as well. So Orange Sharigan here, he's one of our mods in Discord. He'll be able to help you out. He's a really good guy, always active and always willing to help people out. So if you have any questions, I recommend you reach out to him as well.
Yeah, feel free to DM me on Discord, Twitter, wherever you want. If you're having trouble getting onto Blue or anyone else. Yeah, always happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for all your time and energy, man. Always appreciated.
Privileged to help. I've loved it. Been a good ride.
Definitely. All right. Yeah, thanks for coming up too. Feel free to stay up as a speaker if you want. Raymond, did you have anything to ask?
Yeah, how you doing, guys? Big believer in the project. Thank you guys for everything. I'm just wondering. So I go to the dApp from my Trust Wallet, and I look at my reflections through there. That's staked within the dApp in the xSurge.net app and the dApp on the Trust Wallet, and I'm just wondering, is this a reason why it's not none of the reflections are showing up on the xSurge? I've been crazy DMing everybody or trying to get in touch, or why is this?
What do you mean by reflections, Judge? Just so I'm on the same page.
Okay, so I have for instance, I have useless. I bought a whole bunch of useless, and as soon as the ability to stake came out back in October 3rd, I automatically staked it. Plus, I bought Surge useless. My Surge useless, I went through BSC and I saw it on BSC. So my Surge useless is still there, but I can't seem to find the staked useless that I have staked initially. So
when you staked it, it would have just turned it into Surge useless. I'm definitely going to have to change this verbiage a lot, because with the introduction of this yield farm, there's going to be a lot of the word stake going around. All staking was for Surge useless, at least, was a way you could now purchase the Surge token with the underlying asset itself instead of needing to use BNB. That was right. That's what that version of staked meant. So when you moved your useless in, it would have just automatically turned it into Surge useless. Now, Surge useless itself doesn't get reflections, but the actual contract does. So the underlying asset is gaining reflections. So you gain your reflections in the same way, as a form of a surge useless price increase instead of actually new tokens being minted to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, but that's not that's. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but that wasn't the case here. I usually daily check the surge, it's like W surge useless or WSUSLS
How much
on the.
useless you have claim to? Like how
I
much
have
your useless is worth and useless?
it was in useless. I had whatever 12 billion over. I had over 12 billion in useless, and I have over 24 billion in surge useless. So I
Nice.
had both tokens at the same time, and I can see both tokens, and I know that my surge useless wasn't wasn't gaining reflections. I know it just stood still at the same price or at the same number, but I saw my useless, my regular useless token continuing to go up daily. I was checking that daily, and I went to check it tonight, and it wasn't. And that's what I was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, so here's the way it works. We get this question all the time with staking useless. So the pool, our contract for useless is actually the largest. It's the largest holder of useless, second only to the burn wallet. The burn wallet holds the most. It holds like what, Mark? Is it like 26% of the whole total supply?
Yeah, something around that.
So our contract receives the most reflections out of all the rest of the holders aside from the burn wallet, which also receives reflections. So we are receiving reflections constantly. So useless volume also increases your gains of useless that you have claim to when you hold useless. So that's one benefit of staking. So you're gaining constant reflections just because of useless's own volume.
But the thing, the confusion I think is the actual surge useless tokens themselves, you don't get any extras of those.
That's right. And I just posted, Moonmat, would you mind? I don't know how to actually post a tweet in the spaces, but I just posted an article through the xSurge Twitter that answers this question perfectly. It's a Reddit educational write-up that I actually wrote that outlines in detail exactly how our Surge variant tokens work. They don't actually provide reflections. You don't gain reflections of SUSLess or any other Surge variant, Surge ETH, SBTC, any of those other variants that we have. You don't actually gain reflections. What you gain is value because of Mark's algorithm that he employed for these contracts. Every single time there's a buy, a sell, or a transfer, the amount of the ratio between the backing asset, which for SUSLess it's going to be useless, is the backing asset of that token. The value of our token, SUSLess, goes up in value to the backing asset. So basically what that means is you have more claim to more useless in the contract pool. And that write-up explains it perfectly. We get this question all the time, so we made sure to get an educational write-up out there as soon as possible. But Matt, would you mind posting that?
I'm looking for it. Can you possibly send it to me or something?
Yes, sir. Will do.
I think we're getting. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry, but it's just the fact that I can't see it on XTrader. I just can't see it. That's the question that I was getting to. I know I get the whole background behind it, which was working just fine. I just can't see it. I visually can't see what I've been seeing over since I staked it. So it's just not there. What I'm used to seeing every day. It's just not there. It's not that I'm not seeing my reflections coming in. I'm just physically, it's not there. I can't see it. I can't see my useless or I can't see my surge useless because they both used to show up.
So you're just saying it's not showing up in the dApp itself?
Yeah, it's not showing up in the dApp itself.
We've had so as we've been moving to V2, there's been a few problems with surge useless specifically, as has been a pain in the butt for the dApp guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna get you in contact with so Hack up here, HACK is our lead developer over there. I'm gonna, if you could message him directly and have him work with you. I'm sure that's more of a dApp issue, and if it's not, you could always reach out to me and I can check BSC scan and get the real data for you. But I do know for a fact that that Surge useless has been a pain in the butt for the dApp guys. Do you have something to add on that, Lord?
Yeah, and actually, I think maybe 2 or so days ago, from the Surge Discord, we did get some kind of notice that there was something wrong in terms of the pricing of how things are displaying it within the dApp. So it's likely just a front end issue, that maybe something changed within the contract or whatever it might be, and we just need to go and update the code. But we, just to also let all you guys know, we are actively working on the V2 version of the dApp, which is going to completely change the UI and basically the how you interact with it on the front end, and that will be the display going forward. So I guess it's something to look forward to. But in terms of the issue. But yeah, I would love to get into contact, and so if you after this, if we can just message on Discord, I can find out further.
Yeah, for sure,
Awesome.
definitely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for bringing that up, Raymond. Sorry we misinterpreted the question so many times.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. That's why we're here, right? Yeah.
And my lord, I was just going to say, Job was thinking it might be the zero value bag issue. So he was just mentioning that too. Just wants you to know that.
Okay.
I do want to point out, we do have a fantastic resource in our Discord, xSurge, as well as the useless Discord. We have the Surge bot that you can actually enter in your wallet address, and it'll give you all that information. You just DM the bot, give it your wallet, and then it'll give you basically, what you hold, where you're at, and your gains. Really intuitive. It was created by Jimmy MC on the Discord. But yeah, it's real handy, especially when you're trying to go through this and things are struggling as we're going to V2. It'd be good to just know that that's there as a resource.
Definitely, I completely forgot about that. That is an amazing resource. Yeah, definitely super useful.
Yeah, one other thing I want to bring up is in terms of just feedback in general, this team is very open. We're very transparent, and we love feedback. So, and no feedback is considered like bad feedback, especially if it goes to making the platform bigger and better. So if there is issues, please feel free to ping us. We're here for you guys. So
yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. It wasn't meant for any FUD issues or anything like that. I just, I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you. No problem. All right, DeFi George has his hand up. I'm not sure which one came first, him or Safemoon Professor. But whoever wants to.
I can go. Hey guys. Hey, by this rate, I guess in 3 days you're gonna have another space, and you're gonna let everyone know that the APY is gonna be 200%, and we're just gonna make a killing out of this.
Right? That's what I think.
So Mark, question for you. On launch day, would I be able to send BNB to a contract that will do all of that and stake it for me? Put half in xUSD and put half in BNB.
Yep. So there's 4 ways to stake it, and the simplest one that I think a lot of people use will be exactly that. You'll be able to go and send BNB to the yield farm contract itself, which will be fee exempt. So it'll use that BNB, split it in half, buy xUSD tax-free with half, and stake it into liquidity, and then lock those LP tokens for those 3 months. And right away, once they're locked, you're going to be able to start claiming weekly xUSD dividends, which is nice, and hopefully will provide a further incentive to have people leave their liquidity in there for longer than 3 months. Just let it keep riding. No real reason to pull it out unless you expect BNB to do something or what have you. But just as an extra incentive, definitely to keep that liquidity going and keep that in there.
Perfect. And the staking itself is the one that's not going to allow you to remove it prior to 3 months, right? Even if you wanted to.
Nope. No, yeah, you will not be able to with this one. So what's actually going to happen is you're going to get back this token called, it's going to be called the farm token. And that after 3 months, you will be able to either redeem for the LP tokens themselves, if you still want to hold that, or you can actually just redeem it for the 2 assets. And the yield farm will pull liquidity for you so you'll still get it tax-free when you pull the liquidity. So it'll be easy. Hopefully through V2 of the app, it'll all be super intuitive. You'll be able to see exactly what you can pull out and click a button and pull it after 3 months. But yeah, it's super cool. So the only reason for the 3-month wait too is just to incentivize holding liquidity for a while, and also to not just give out xUSD tax free for no reason. If you're gonna get it tax free, you definitely have to contribute to liquidity and get that swapping.
Perfect, Mark. Is there any risk, or have you thought about if everyone does this and then there's no money for transactions?
Well, no. So if everyone does this, then there's a massive liquidity pool on PancakeSwap. And anytime BNB goes up or down by 0.5%, there will be transaction volume from people profiting off that imbalance and correcting those price differences. And 0.5% is fairly small. That's $2.50. So as BNB gets volatile and does its thing, goes up and down, we should see a good amount of kickbacks over to xUSD. And the larger the liquidity pool is, the more transaction volume will be generated to correct those price differences.
Nice.
Which is why staking is so important.
Very nice. So now the ultimate question is, where the heck am I going to find money to put into this?
That's the question. Yep.
All righty, guys. Thank you a lot.
No, yeah, thank you, man. All right, Safemoon Professor.
I just want to know one thing. When are you guys gonna post or have graphs on Trust Wallet and and probably more information, your white paper, etc. Just to provide more investor sentiment or more information, get the information out there.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
That's going to be the major push behind xUSD is to actually get all that data out there, get a price for it. Considering it'll be in traditional PancakeSwap pools with BNB, we'll be able to get it on CoinMarketCap and get a price, and then from there we'll be able to pair xUSD with all the Surge tokens as we were planning to do, so that people can trade between them, and that will also reflect a price for the Surge tokens because xUSD will have a defined value, and you'll be able to track it that way as well. So we're going to start with xUSD and put all the focus on getting its price known and spread everywhere and on all the APIs, on all the websites it needs to be, and then we'll be able to actually value the other surges using that.
Hey, and on the white paper. So with the white paper, everything is done with the exception of some cosmetic touch-ups and the Surge factory. We want to be able to get what we have here is a massive expansion, a massively expansive utility. So this utility, we want to be able to encompass all of that within the white paper itself to appeal more to a broader range of investors. So until we get that integrated, we don't want to release just a half-ass white paper. We want to be able to get all of those utilities integrated within it. Once we have the Surge factory in there, I think we'll be good to go. We'll just have to do some minor cosmetic touch-ups, like I said, and we'll do some very thorough peer checks, and we'll get this thing out. It'll likely be on the V2 of the website.
Yeah, I'll just say, Blue, you've been working on that pretty extensively. It's quite thorough from what I understand, and it's extremely technical. So it'll be exciting to see.
I haven't made his job easy.
Certainly have not. That's valid. I feel the pain on my side too, Mark. So
every time he's done, I'm like, well, I kind of changed.
Let me add
something. This is
something.
going to work entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So delete all of that, and here's how it works now.
Mm-hmm. You just get used to it working with a visionary. I imagine Blue feels the same way.
I definitely iterate on my work a lot, but it's good. I'm glad that we didn't just settle with X traders, and we've built this into what it's looking like today. And not what it's looking like today, but what hopefully it will look like down the road. I'm very excited. Definitely was worth the wait, not just saying, all right, we'll do X traders, we'll do that. People that have been around Surge for a while know that was our first version of the Surge DEX and xUSD and what it evolved into, at least. And I'm definitely very happy with where it's led us.
I got a quick question there. Just to be clear, we're not on CoinMarketCap yet. Is that correct?
No, we haven't launched yet actually for xUSD.
So I was just looking at because I pulled it up on CoinMarketCap and I typed in xUSD and it looks like there's something that exists already. Is that any type of problem?
So I'm not familiar with the xUSD that is on there. I'm not sure how recent it is or when it was out, but I know that in terms of a blockchain issue, they don't conflict. I'm not sure that it would on CMC, but I am no CMC expert. That would be Jen over here.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say there's many multiple tickers that are the same thing. It won't conflict. I'll do some research into like how long it's been around and what it's doing. But no, I don't see it as a problem at all. In fact, I think that I can't keep the amount of exchanges and some of the contacts within CMC from not asking about Surge xUSD. So I think you're going to see it on there pretty soon.
All right, cool.
Jen's been a huge help with making all that work and getting the right connections in place to get on these exchanges and get on CMC. So definitely very excited to see it on that platform. That'll be a really big day for Surge.
Yeah, all of the Surge products, it would be really nice to have them all in there. Anybody who holds them should know that, like this is decentralized finance. This is it at its best. And the way that the xSurge team is releasing them is really unique. And it does, obviously conflict with some of the major markets that wish we did it a different way. That said, xUSD is going on CoinMarketCap. It will be on the charts. You'll see it on KuCoin. It will be like every other token and many exchanges from what I'm hoping to be able to provide.
Can't wait to see that CMC chart.
Exactly what it said.
Yeah, that'll look interesting for sure. Hopefully it just draws people to it. They're like, wait, what is this? Like, it's going. It's not that fast, but it's going.
We certainly Surge needed something like this. It'll give a lot more exposure to the other tokens, which have been a lot harder to be able to do with. A lot of people won't go near stuff that you give them.
Absolutely.
You give them a warning. It's a big effort for us to get it to CMC. Then I don't know. I reckon a lot of investors turn away from stuff like that.
Definitely, and that's why we're putting a lot of the focus on xUSD to like market the other ones. So that's what's going to be on the exchanges. That's what's going to be on CoinMarketCap, and people will be able to look at that and be like, all right, what is this Surge? And they'll be able to find the rest of the ecosystem, and also swap very cheaply from their xUSD into any of the other Surge tokens, which is also pretty cool.
Yeah, perfect situation. It's something that's been really needed. I'm excited about it. It's going to be good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thank you guys. I see Job jumped up here. He's another one of our devs. Rye, thank you for speaking there. Do we have too many speakers up here to get anyone else up, or I'm not sure how that works. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to raise your hand or any comments.
I just was going to add that Orange just made like a really good point.
Right?
That's all I wanted to say. That you just made a really great point, right? Like not being able to get these tokens to CoinMarketCap, being able to bring xUSD to it is certainly going to bring the eyes that we want to bring onto xSurge very quickly. I think that many of the people who will hold xUSD will then see the benefit in not only having it as an appreciating asset, but the ability to utilize some of the other products that xSurge has to a benefit to their portfolios. So you're absolutely right, Oranges. This is the right way to bring not only new holders, but maybe a unique audience that we're looking for something that isn't found easily amongst all of the other tokens in the market.
Yeah, definitely. It's and plus, I mean, once we get xUSD out there, people are going to be able to cross over from exchange ecosystems directly over to the variant ecosystem if they want to. Like, I can't think of another token that offers that capability. I really can't. Can everybody
Did it
hear?
break again? No, I think it broke again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody cut out.
Oh, okay. I'm not stuck in the
Good old
box anymore.
Are we
spaces.
back?
I was scared for a second.
Hey,
Yeah, I
Whistle.
was wondering if that was just me or not.
Nope, it's all of us.
Oh, what up?
Hey, hey.
So
I
I
had
had
a
a quick
point I was
question
making
for
too.
Mark, if I can. Oh shit, is it not working?
Mark can't